My name is Crystal Ferguson, and my company is called Space to Love, and I'm a professional organizer. And of course, I watched the show on Netflix, Tidying Up with Marie Kondo, and I was kind of excited because I was like, ooh, fun binging show that I could watch, and and it's obviously in my field. And as I started watching, I kind of was cringing a little bit because I was watching these people really struggle to go through some things that I just normally wouldn't do as a professional organizer. So I do things a little bit differently, with my Space to Love method and maybe more of an American style organizing as opposed to Japanese. I've never been to Japan, so I'm not really sure how their households are, but I feel like they already sort of have a minimalistic kind of lifestyle, where here in America it's very different. We have a lot of stuff. We are a very consumeristic society, and I think it's a little different maybe the way we would approach our things. And I know that everybody really has an emotional attachment and a psychological attachment that is a little too deep. And instead of just saying something like, does this bring you joy or not, would probably not work for my clients. We of course, we want to have things that spark us joy, and we want to thank everything that we have, but sometimes I feel like that just wouldn't be enough. So the few things I'm going to point out that I feel like if you watch the show and you kind of feel like a failure, like a condo failure or a tidying up failure because I watch a show and I thought I could do it on my own and I can't, just know that a lot of people cannot do this on their own. So the first thing I want to point out is when I was watching the show and they're doing the clothes and they take all the clothes and they put them on the bed. And there's this huge pile of clothes on the bed and you're just like, oh my God, it's so overwhelming. So the shock and awe of it was really great for the show purposes. But I would never actually do that with a client. Normally what I would do if we were doing the clothes, I would say, let's start with the closet and let's take all the hanging stuff out first. Let's put all the hanging stuff on the bed. And then, yes, using the bed and having your donate bag and maybe things that need repair and then things that are just not well enough to donate and we'd have to throw them out. And then, of course, things that you're going to keep. Once you go through all the hanging stuff, I don't leave you either. The point of like what sparks you joy and what doesn't, and then walking away when she was leaving, I was like, no, where's she going? Come back. Because I stay there with my client the whole time because we ask other questions besides what sparks joy or what brings joy. When was the last time you wore it? Do you feel great in this? And maybe instead of saying, does it spark joy, just be like, do I feel my best self in these clothes? Also, we tend to keep a lot of things because we think, it was like an old job that you had. After a certain amount of years, we kind of change our style, we change who we are, we grow as people, and some of the clothes don't represent us anymore like they used to. So that might be a nice question to ask. And then also, of course, does it fit you? Did you just lose weight or you want to lose weight? I would say keep everything that fits you right now. Don't worry about losing weight. Don't worry. Like if you gain weight, some people even say that, well, I kind of fluctuate, so I might gain 10 pounds. I'm like, keeping those pants, chances are you are going to gain 10 pounds. Try to live in the present moment. I think that's the most important thing. Live in the present moment. Don't worry about how you were in the past or what the future is going to bring. So your clothes should represent who you are today. You are your best self and your best version today. So maybe asking yourself a couple more questions besides, does it bring you joy or not? And maybe that might help you a little bit if you get stuck. Also, once you're done with the hanging things and you like to put them back, and then you can start on stuff that's in your dresser and then do that. Maybe just do your socks and then just do your bra and underwear or, pajamas, because then you're putting it into manageable sections, right? You're not going to be so overwhelmed. And the one thing I heard a lot was people were sleeping on their couch or on the floor because their bed was full of clothes and they never got through it. And, so we don't want that to happen. So I stay with my client the whole time. I'm coaching them through the entire session. And then before I leave, we make sure that everything is put away and that they can live their lives. Like it's not going to be a big mess. The second thing I thought was interesting was the folding. I know the folding is a big thing with the Marie Kondo, and I think folding is great. Of course, we need to learn how to fold our clothes, but what I do for my clients is really fold the clothes to what they have. Like the t-shirts are great to fold, but some people like to hang their t-shirts. So I don't think that's like one method that should be set in stone. I think everything should work with how the client is, how their home is, and what they have. Some people I know don't even have a dresser. They just have like a small thing for socks and underwear, which is fine. And then also if you're hanging things, you know, putting them back, which they didn't show in the show too much, was, you know, I like to put things back for my clients and set up a system for them. I think that's really important because not only do we want to just declutter everything, we want to be able to stay organized. So having all their hanging stuff going from, you know, button-down shirts, long sleeve shirts, to short sleeve, to tank tops, and then of course have them color coordinated, which makes it look really nice. And then of course you know exactly where things are going to go when you're putting things back. And having the same hangers. I love doing, you know, whatever hanger you choose. I love the huggy hangers, but having all the same hangers in the closet really streamline it and make it look really nice. And so folding and the clothes, those are two things that I think might be a little more helpful. And then of course the third thing is don't do it alone. I really feel like, you know, taking everything out and then just trying to do it by yourself is maybe not the best thing. So if you find that you're struggling, really hire a professional organizer in your area. There's NAPO. It's the National Association of Productivity and Professional Organizers, and they're a national company. So you can find an organizer anywhere in the United States. And then there's also like other things with paperwork, because even reading the book, that might not even be in the show, but with paperwork, I think it's really important that we do want to get rid of as much paperwork as possible, but to get rid of all your paperwork I think is unrealistic. And I do a lot of home offices and people have different businesses, so if you do commercial real estate or if you sell Arbonne or you do things like that, we can't set up the same system for everyone. So when people are like, how would you organize my office? I'm like, well, let me get in there and we're going to see how you are, what you do, and then we can organize accordingly. So I don't think there's like I said, like a cookie cutter way of doing everything. Everyone's different. And then the other thing I noticed is when she was coming in with the boxes, like just cardboard boxes at the end, which I think is great. I really try to use the stuff that my clients already have, because once you declutter, you'll realize that, oh, I have this bin, I can use this one now. You know, I really don't like plastic, but she came over with random size boxes where I really do like taking the time to measure the drawers and then finding organizers that actually fit perfectly in there. And everything, again, clients are different, so you're not really sure what's going to be in the drawer, so you're not going to know what size box you might need. So after you declutter, find out what's going to go in that drawer, measure it out, and then you can go to the Container Store, or of course you can use what you have. But if you really do like that, like the aesthetics of what it looks like, then you really want to purchase organizers that will look really nice for those drawers. And so that's another thing. And also, don't worry about, this wasn't even mentioned in the show, but don't worry about buying any organizing tools until you declutter, because you'll realize that you'll either have extra bins left over from what you already tried to organize years ago, and then once you get rid of things, then you can really realize like, oh, I didn't even need this whole organizing thing that I thought this huge filing cabinet that I thought I was going to buy, because you shredded most of your paperwork anyway. So wait to do that at the end. And if you have any questions about organizing, or if you feel that you couldn't do it on your own, or you watched the show and you got really stressed out, you know, please comment below. Tell me what you think. Tell me any struggles that you're having, and I'd love to hear from you and see what you thought about the show. And if you tried to do it alone, what were your struggles? Where did you get stuck? And I can see mostly about the decision-making part, which I'm going to mention another part of the show, when the husband was in the garage and he was sitting there and there was like boxes everywhere, and I was like, ooh, you know, he's by himself and he's trying to make these decisions. There was stuff for both of them, for him and his wife. So if you have to make decisions on things and it's your, you know, our stuff that you have to, you know, have your partner there with you, is going to make it a lot easier. And then also, when I help clients do a garage, I'm there with my assistant, with them, helping them sort. You really want to put like with like, and then make decisions on that. It's impossible to make a decision on everything when you're looking at it as a whole, because it would just be too overwhelming, and our brains just don't work that way. So to have someone help you pull down the stuff, sort, put it in a donation bag, even that alone is going to be a tremendous amount of help. This is hard work. It is physical, it is mental, it is emotional. It is really not meant to do alone, especially when you have these big projects like a garage or all those clothes that you saw. So after watching the show, my heart kind of went out to them, and then I felt like she just wasn't around to help them through it, and and for them to struggle, to be like, I don't understand what brings me joy. Not everybody's the same, so. I work with my clients, we're saying different things, asking them different questions, and helping them through it. And also bringing energy and positivity and making it fun. So a lot of times you want to say, okay, what sparks you joy, which is great. And if it doesn't spark joy, thank it and let it go. But I also look at it this way. It's like letting go of this clutter that is just blocking the amazing things that are about to come into your life. If you feel stuck and stagnant and tired and stressed, it is probably because your environment is not bringing you up to the level where you need to be. And that's what I love to bring to my clients. So it's joy, but it's also, let's invite the things that we want in our life to help us get to the next level. All right, I think I've talked enough about this. Anyway, thanks for watching if you made it this far. And again, comment below if you felt like you've been stressed out or have any organizing tips for anyone else, or if you have any questions. I would love to hear from you, and I'll answer and get back to you, and maybe we can help you out. All right, well, thanks for watching, and have a great day. Bye.